Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on some Korean spicy chicken ramen noodles. It's just an express version of a regular ramen recipe, something that you could do quick and it's very tasteful. Now let's get started. Alright, the first thing that we're going to do is prep all of our ingredients. Like always, down in our description will be our ingredient list and the quantity of each thing that you'll need. Okay, the first step to cook this amazing ramen broth in a large saucepan, we're gonna add some oil, either olive oil or vegetable oil, whichever one you have. Then we're gonna add our diced onion. I used about half of a large diced onion. That should be enough. Or either if you have a small one, use the full small one, or a medium one. Then we're gonna cook our onion until they soften up to that clear white color, and then that's when you'll know they'll be ready. Okay, so while our onion is cooking, go ahead and add your garlic. Use about 3 to 4 cloves depending on the size, finely chopped. Go ahead and stir that in with your onion. Okay, so now that your garlic is stirred in with your onion, go ahead and add your ginger. I cut my pieces in large slices because I'm gonna go ahead and take these out once our broth is ready. We just want to get that nice and sweet taste that our ginger provides. All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and add our Korea kimchi. Kimchi is like a spicy infused cabbage. Very good, very tasteful. It'll give it a nice flavor to our broth. I used about 3 full tablespoons of it or a quarter cup. Just add enough so it could give that broth a nice flavor to it. All right, so now that you stirred in your kimchi into your sauteed onions, garlic, and ginger, we're gonna go ahead and start adding our chicken pieces. I used thigh pieces and drumsticks. Dark meat would probably be best for this ramen. I used bone in. I used about 6, 7 pieces, depending on the size of your pot and depending on the size of your chickens. I used about 7 pieces for mine. We're just gonna go ahead add those pieces of chicken into your pot. Okay, now that you have your chicken in your pot, we're gonna give it a couple of stirs around our kimchi and our sauteed onion with garlic. We just want to kind of base our chicken with that flavor that's building up. So now we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of our kimchi juice onto our chicken. You squeeze that out of your packages of your kimchi or your bottle. It just gives it that extra little touch of flavor to our chicken. So now that you add your kimchi juice, go ahead and add your soy sauce. Toss that in into your pot and go ahead and give your chicken a nice toss around so we can get that kimchi and soy sauce all over your chicken. So now that we're tossing around our chicken, we can start seeing that our chicken is getting a nice color to it, and just the smell is extraordinarily amazing at this time. Once we have our chicken tossed around, we can start adding our chicken stock. If you have a homemade chicken stock, go ahead and use that. I went ahead and used the store-bought one. This was a late night dinner for me, so it was way easier to use this. So now that we added our chicken stock, we're gonna go ahead and add our secret ingredient to this ramen. It is gochujang, which is a fermented chili paste. Has an extraordinary flavor, but it's not that spicy. Just go ahead and use a full tablespoon of it. Since it's a chili paste, it's pretty hard to dissolve, so you don't want it sitting in the top of your stock. So just go ahead, help it dissolve it just with another spoon. Just give it a nice little mix with your chicken broth so it could dissolve. now that we've dissolved our chili paste into our chicken stock, we're gonna bring it to a slight simmer, cover it up, and let it cook for about an hour until our chicken is fork tender. So now that an hour has passed, look how amazing our chicken ramen is looking. We're gonna give this a nice little stir just so we can get that kimchi all over. And then at this time, we're gonna start removing our chicken from our broth. Okay, so the reason we're removing our chicken from our ramen broth is just to give it some extra color. So we're gonna go ahead and remove all our chicken from our ramen broth, and then we're gonna glaze our chicken with some oil, and then put this chicken in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes just so we could get that nice and golden color to it. Alright, so now that our chicken's out of the oven, we're just gonna go ahead and start peeling our chicken off the bone, just into big pieces, just so we could put it on top of our ramen when we're ready to serve. So now, plating time. We're almost there, guys. For ramen, always use a deep bowl. We're gonna start off with our cooked ramen noodles. Always use a good amount of noodles. It's always a must. Once we have your noodles in there, we're gonna add our ramen broth and our kimchi. So start off with putting a good amount of your kimchi cabbage. A good amount of kimchi is a must for this dish since kimchi is a highlight of this dish. Just get a good amount of it in, and then once we have our kimchi in, start adding some broth into it. Add a good amount of broth, obviously, just to get it all covered up. So now that you added your broth into your dish, go ahead and start adding your chicken. Obviously, to your liking, depends how much chicken you want it. Get some good amount of pieces in there, and then put a soft boiled egg, some spring onions, and you'll have your dish ready to go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys like this recipe. Hope you guys make it and enjoy it. Like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for more videos coming soon. Thank you. See you next time.